Good evening and welcome to my predictions for this week's Champions League matches, which started this season on the 13th of September 2016. So we start with my predictions and then we will move on to my UEFA Fantasy Football team. Of course, if you think you can beat me, you're always welcome to join the Fantasy Football League on UEFA.com. Okay, so our first matches today are PSG versus Arsenal, Barcelona versus Celtic, Manchester City vs Borussia Mönchengladbach, Basel vs Ludogorets, Benfica vs Besiktas, Dynamo Kiev vs Napoli, Bayern Munich vs Rostov, and finally PSV Eindhoven vs Atletico Madrid. As we speak, there might be a delay or even a cancellation of the Manchester City game because of the weather in Manchester at the moment, so that prediction I will leave out of this video. Okay, first of all, for PSG vs Arsenal. Arsenal started a bit sloppy in the league. They find themselves in 7th. PSG also find themselves a bit sloppy in the league and find themselves in 7th. So this one really has a draw written all over it. So I've gone for 1-1, although a strange decision from Wenger tonight to leave Cech out and put Ospina instead. But no, I will stick with 1-1 with Cazorla to score for Arsenal and PSG possibly Cavani. Moving on to Barcelona vs Celtic. Now, Barcelona suffered a surprise defeat to Alaves at the weekend. Celtic won 5-1 against their rivals Rangers in the Old Firm derby. I think this time this has got Barcelona win written all over it. Feel for Celtic, but I think it might be a repeat of 2013 and a 6-1 win for Barcelona. Okay, next we've got Basel vs Ludogorets. Now, I'm not too sure on Ludogorets Razgrad. I know a bit about Basel because they are a superb team in Switzerland and play at St Jakob Park, and I think they will be comfortable 2-0 winners. Moving on to Benfica vs Besiktas. Now, Besiktas are a Turkish side that used to be managed by Bilic of West Ham now. Again, I don't know all that much about them. Benfica, very, very strong side in Portugal. Porto and Lisbon are the closest to them. I think it will be a narrow Benfica win. I'll go for 1-0 to Benfica. Moving on to Dynamo Kiev against Napoli. Now, Napoli are a good side. Dynamo Kiev are another team I don't really know. I'm going for a narrow 2-1 win to Napoli. Bayern Munich vs Rostov. This has got home win written all over it. Lewandowski's in his zone. Ribery's in his zone. You've got back four. Solid, Alaba, Dante, who plays for Wolfsburg, my mistake. You've got Neuer in goal, Philipp Lahm. This has got easy 3-0 win by on it. And finally, moving on to PSV Eindhoven vs Atletico Madrid. Now, Atletico Madrid on Simeone. Unbelievable what he's done with that finances, unbelievable. But I think PSV will be a tough test. Maybe even a draw, 1-1. So they're my predictions for tonight's games, and here is my Euro Fantasy team if you want to try and beat me. So I have Cillessen in goal for Barcelona. My back four, I've gone for 4-3-3 formation. I've gone for Sandro of Juventus, Umtiti for Barcelona, Huth for Leicester, and I've also gone for Piszczek of Dortmund. My midfield three, I've gone for Danny Drinkwater, who was absolutely inspirational in the Prem for Leicester last season. Amazing how he didn't get in the England squad for the Euros, but that's Roy Hodgson for you. You've got Rakitic of Barcelona and Khedira of Juventus. My front three, I've gone for a bit of a strange decision with Lassina Traore of CSKA Moscow, but I think he's my lesser valued player, but I think he could bang in the goals for CSKA Moscow. Up front, I've also got Lewandowski, who I think might even get a hat-trick tonight against Rostov, and Cristiano Ronaldo, who just doesn't need any introduction. If I had to choose a manager, which I haven't, but if I had to choose a manager, it would probably be Guardiola, although Simeone does come very, very close indeed for Atletico. So anyway, that was my video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.